I want to welcome the government's and the minister's leadership on this issue by bringing the bill to the House in order to enact the UN High Seas Treaty, and note also that I'm a member of the Oceans APPG. I know that people in Exeter care very deeply about our natural environment with the seas and oceans in particular, and so that's rightly so. The world's oceans are vitally important to the health of our planet and to our people. They produce over half the world's oxygen and absorb a quarter of all carbon dioxide emissions, helping to regulate our climate. They support an immense diversity of life, providing food for billions of people and supporting enormous ecosystems which contain knowledge that we've only just begun to tap. After decades of industrial damage, this landmark legislation and the treaty will go some way to protecting 2/3 of the world's ocean, and it represents a massive step forward by nations across the world to protect marine life and ecosystems beyond our national borders. By providing the legal framework necessary to implement the BBNJ agreement domestically, this bill includes provisions for marine protected areas, environmental impact assessments, and the sharing of benefits from the collection and use of marine genetic resources, and will help us to meet the target to effectively conserve and manage at least 30% of the ocean by 2030. I also welcome this bill as a core part of re-establishing the UK's role in providing global leadership on climate and nature, both at home and around the world. And just as the UK is a leader in marine and climate science, so is Exeter. I was delighted this week to host the Met Office in Parliament to showcase the range and depth of their expertise. The Met Office is not just a specialist in our weather. They're based in Exeter. They're also specialists in space weather, in our oceans, and the connection to climate change and forecasting too. They work on ocean biogeochemistry, studying how carbon and other gases are absorbed, transported, and exchanged by the oceans. The mechanisms involved and the impacts changes have is pioneering. They research into the risks of rapid loss of sea ice and studying the rise of sea levels and the impacts on communities, the environment, and the economy. The Met Office also provides a vital service in generating risk assessments of rapid changes to the meridional overturning circulation, which, Madam Deputy Speaker, I'm told plays an important role in regional climates. I'm a literature graduate, not a science graduate, so to speak. They're also part of the National Partnership for Ocean Prediction, bringing together world-class expertise and research as well as developing beneficial marine products and services. In addition, the University of Exeter has a wide-ranging research community working on projects related to our oceans. These come together under the Exeter Marine Research Network, and their ocean research runs from pollution and conservation to governance and human health. In June this year, Exeter University's Professor Callum Roberts was the lead author of a report in Nature supporting the UN High Seas Treaty. His paper highlighted that the high seas are Earth's largest and most secure carbon sink. Protecting them is critical to preserving the biological and nutrient cycles that draw down and keep atmospheric CO2 in check. They welcome the UN High Seas Treaty, saying it offers a pathway to greater protection, but they are concerned about the length of time for implementation. The report's authors also argued that a full and permanent ban on extractive use of the oceans is both feasible and necessary, modelled on the successful precedent set for Antarctica in the 1950s. And I wonder whether the Minister would comment on what more can be done beyond this treaty as we bring it in to protect our oceans above and beyond this legislation. Finally, Madam Deputy Speaker, I want to pay tribute to my constituents Mary Atwell, Debbie Thomas, Sue Down and Lizzie Whaler of Exeter's Greenpeace Group, who have been doggedly campaigning for the UK's ratification of the treaty, and I thank them for all the work and for keeping this issue at the top of the political agenda, and hope they'll be celebrating this evening if this bill passes its second reading in this place. They have asked me to question how the treaty will be enforced, and welcome comments from the Minister on that too. I'd also agree with my friend, my honourable friend from Chesterfield, that we do want this to be cross-party, cross-house agreement on this. While it's also disappointing that the Conservatives aren't here, it is disappointing that the Green Party MPs, other than one small intervention at the beginning, are not here to participate substantially in this debate. Madam Deputy Speaker, I commend and I'm extraordinarily thrilled and pleased to support this bill. And I know that ratification of this agreement as soon as possible supports the UK's broader climate and nature agenda and will mean that we can take our seat at the top table at the first COP. This will ensure that we remain at the forefront of global efforts to tackle biodiversity loss and climate change through multilateral cooperation, and this will strengthen the role of international law, so important in these times, and multilateral institutions as the foundation for ocean governance. Thank you, Madam.